really small. Hey everybody, it's Dalton. Looks like I got a pretty nice one right here. He's got a follower too. There was two of them together. Come here, you beautiful spotted bass right here. Oh yeah, there's a nice fish right there. Good 2+ pounder. That'll work for me. 2+. Nice fat belly. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful bass right there. I've caught quite a few of them on this drop shot today, and I'm going to sit down and here in a little bit show you guys basically how I set up this drop shot, what works most effectively for me. In addition to the fact, some of you have also bought some jigs, and I want to show you how to prep those. It's a real simple thing to do, but I do all my jigs this way, and it works out good. Let me see if I can get a couple of more. Yeah, these fish are, you know, some of them are just dirt shallow. Back there, I was just catching them right off the bank in maybe a foot of water. This one here was a little bit deeper, about 10-12 feet. Right outside those rocks. Little chunky guy right here. Colored eyes. Yeah, these fish are taking care of their business right now. Plenty of spawning going on already. All right, guys, well, it's been another fun day. I'll let you know that these fish are spawning. They're in full spawn. I mean, right now the water temperatures, when I got on the water this morning, it was 62, and it's 65 to 66 right now, and it's just a little after 12. So, you know, some of these fish, I caught them dirt shallow. I mean, I threw that drop shot right up against the bank, about 2 inches from the bank line. Moved it a couple of times before I knew it, I was getting hit like crazy. And biggest one today was about 2.5 pounds. And then I caught a bunch of, you know, smaller ones as well. Fish, and was throwing a Ned rig around, and interestingly enough, didn't get any bites on a Ned rig, which kind of surprised me. And then I started throwing my drop shot again, and here we go. There's a fish right here. Come here, buddy. Okay, just a little one, not too big, but I do like the way they're biting a drop shot out here right now. I don't know what it is about the drop shot right now. I just think it's the level of where it's at, and I've just seen it so good. But this morning dawn drop shot's been working out great. Now, some of you guys have ordered quite a few baits, so I want to kind of go over with you how I prep these baits, or at least the jig, that is. When you buy a jig that has a silicone skirt, what you want to do with it is turn it upside down like this and massage that skirt. Okay? When these jigs have been in a bag, sometimes some of the skirting material can get kind of stuck together. And I've seen this with any silicone jig. Once you've done that, you've loosened that jig up, and it's all nice and puffy and ready to go. Now, the way I like to set up a jig, typically, I will take right under the hook, maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch under the hook. I like to trim my skirt. I like a short skirt because the shorter the skirt, the more poofy it is. typically what it winds up looking like, most of my jigs are going to wind up looking like this. It's going to be a nice poofy, or puffy, poofy, whatever word you want to use. Nice puffy skirt and a good trailer. This one here happens to be brown and green pumpkin. That's one of my favorite colors. Now let's talk about the drop shot bait. This is a flat side worm. I shipped a bunch of them out yesterday. A bunch more are going out today. And I just thought I would take a second just to show you guys how I'm rigging this to get the success I'm getting. The reason I like this worm so much, it's only about 3.5 inches. I think it's 3.6. But it's very buoyant. And what happens is I use a plastic that does some floating. So this thing will stand up like this. And when you're moving your rod tip or your slack, it gives it a very subtle action. And I'm telling you, they can't ignore it. Now the way I set it up is really simple. I just nose hook it. That's all I do right there. I nose hook it. Right now on this rod, I'm using 8-pound test fluorocarbon. I'm using a small drop shot bait. I can never remember the sizes of my drop shot baits. And then this right here is a tungsten weight. It's 3/16. Typically I will go lighter than that, but the reason I'm using the 3/16 right now is I know that these fish are spawning or they're getting ready to spawn and they're in one area. And with that heavier weight, I can keep that drop shot right there. All I got to do is just shake that rod tip and that drop shot is going to quiver and they're going to hit it. So if you're coming out here, don't ignore the bank lines. Don't ignore areas where maybe you have some a bluff wall over here, a bluff wall over here, and right here you've got a bank with maybe a few weeds or a little bit of wood. That's where they are. And again, threw right up against the bank, inch or two outside the bank, quivered it a little bit, bam, they were hitting it like crazy. All sizes were. And so it was a lot of fun. Beautiful spring day out here. I'm going to get back to it, but I just want to share with you guys, thank you for buying the baits, but this is how I use them. It's how I prep my jig, and it's how I fish my drop shot, which this is not the only color I have. This is just the color I got right now because it's working so well. I have another color coming in that I've never tried before that I'm really excited about. And then I also make a bluegill color. So there'll be other colors in this. It's a good little worm. Appreciate you guys supporting me and buying those worms. It means a lot. I got plenty of jigs. I've tied a lot of jigs. And I do have a jig trailer coming in that I'm going to make myself. The company I ordered from takes about 3 or 4 weeks. Before they even ship it. I think they have to make it. I don't think they keep them stocked. I think they got to make it and then ship it to me. So I should be getting that hopefully within a week or so. But I haven't got an email yet that they've shipped it. But at any rate, brown and green pumpkin, great color. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you all. Come out. There's some good fishing going on. By the way, crappie are hitting really good too. A guy named Nix got a hold of me. He lives out here at the lake. And I'm going to show you this crappie. He caught a 3.6 pound crappie. The biggest I've got is about a 2.5. He caught one that was almost 3.5 pounds. Check out these pictures. I tell you, that is one nice crappie. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you all. Talk to you next time.